The idea was to potentially buy here, and maybe that's going to be the low, maybe it's not. So why not take some profits around here, potentially the easy move back up, or some people would have been a bit more ambitious and taken their profits on this line here. And then maybe leave the rest to run, and that I think that's a good call, and that's what a lot of people did. A lot of our students did. Now, what about where we are right now? This is the most important bit. So, if you didn't take any of that, now is the time to concentrate. So, clean this up a bit. So, the thing that is still prominent is this line here. So you can see that we have been basically holding absolutely perfectly from here, resistance, 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 resistance. And something quite interesting is happening right now as we speak. The market is, again, it formed that low. This was the D, and it's now rallied. And now we're right back here. Now, you could say right now, this could be a head and shoulders pattern with a very small right shoulder. It could be. The pattern's not really that relevant. I think the most important thing here is the fact that we are attempting, to break this this line. And if that line breaks, and ultimately we are taking out these highs, for me, that's going to that's a good signal that the market might be ready to go higher. Now, one little thing that you can check is the volume to see if it's going to be a real break. But essentially, for me, the clue should be if we can close above 59k, so around there, if we kind of find ourselves up here, you're going to start to think, we're going to have potentially at least a good rally. And I'll show you the daily chart as well. Now, one thing you can also do is, sometimes rallies can be short-lived. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the new, it's going to break all-time highs. But I always kind of look at, the kind of the next move up. So for traders, you kind of want to be looking really to target these kind of levels, past support, which comes in about 62, 63k. Look at this level, guys. So for traders, look at the reaction on these levels. So if we can kind of find our way, either something like, ideally you get up here, but even if it kind of just closed above this line and then consolidated, you should be kind of looking for that. That's kind of the next move. So we've got potentially about 5k move before some significant selling comes in. And this is the next test point right here. If we then get through that, now I think we're going to go break the highs, and I think we're going to go, go hit 80, 85k. So from an investment point of view, it's absolutely fine to be buying here. Now, let me show you the picture of, if this market was to do one more leg down, is it possible? Well, I think it is. It's possible. So we have to be open to that, and you have to be ready with it. So right now, we have an A, B, C, D. So the current Fibonacci is right here, okay? And that is giving us, so this is basically showing us that the market is pulled back between the orange and the red, which is basically this zone here. So according to our Fibonacci, we are looking for that if there's another leg down for Bitcoin to potentially bottom out between 50k and 48k. That's the zone you want to look at. Now, let's go to the daily chart, guys. I'm going to show you the daily chart. Now, the daily chart is very interesting because when you look at the daily chart, yes, we've got this line, but don't worry about this line too much. It's not really an established trend line. In fact, you could probably say, let's see if it's the same. We could probably use this is more of an established line. That's probably where the correct trend line is. Is that, well, actually, it's well, that's interesting, isn't it? That is interesting. The market is held exactly off these 2 points, same angle there. So anyway, that's a bullish sign there. First time I've seen that. So that's a bullish sign. The other thing we want to add in is the volume. But like, remember, the markets like to trap people as well. So don't think this is definitely going higher. We have got this level here that we need to close above. So let me show you. So this here, guys, if you imagine you're a seller, that is a low point. That is a low point. That is a floor. That when you're below it, it becomes a ceiling. So right now we are literally on that ceiling. If we can close above here, that is a morning star candle formation, and that is very, very bullish. And that I would then expect that we're going to have a really nice push up. And I think, as you can see there, 63, 64 is the next level up, which matches pretty much what we just said on the 4-hour time frame. I think that becomes the next test. So if we can close above here, we go up here. That becomes a test. Do we hold? Do we retrace? And then I think we eventually will probably go find our way up to this next level, which is our fibs. So we've got 78 to sort of 80 odd there. I think we're getting ready and close for this move, in my opinion. Is it going to go up from here? Is it going to kind of trap and go and spike down into this zone down here? That's possible. Look at the level here, guys. Really nice resistance points. That becomes a really nice zone matching up with the fibs. In case it does, I would be ready on my leverage positions. On the long-term positions, it absolutely makes sense to be long Bitcoin right now. Even if you did have that dip, for me, this is you should have been buying these, and even here you can still be buying this for that move higher. But in terms of from a trading point of view, 48 to 50,000 is the next zone to target to buy, and that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Mate, we've got just over 3 weeks till Christmas.
Yes.
Do you think it's going to be a happy Bitcoin Christmas? If it got in, and it totally can. In 3 weeks, it could go down to that 48,050 buy zone that you've just highlighted, and then really zoom up for Christmas. And then we'd be like, wow, the last 3 weeks have felt like 3 months, because there'll be a lot of people that can't see that right now, right? That if we ended up around that 80, 85 by Christmas, that's a pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, absolutely. I think, and it can happen in a week. You may just get like, the next couple of weeks to the middle of December where we're not doing too much. It's possible. We've got a lot to break through. I'm just having a little look here. So let's go back over here for a second, guys. Let's see if we can spot anything. So if you kind of look at this little retracement here, if you notice we had, look at the sort of, if you just kind of line through that, right? So what are the peak things here? The selling volume, right? There's lots of selling volume, but the buying volume started to pick up here compared to like these points here. And then it really, look at that. So when you had this nice rally there, see how, again, we had a nice bit of buying volume, and look, the drop in selling volume. And then it continued. The buying volume was coming in. Now, if you look back over here, that's not the case yet. So one of the things that you can do, and don't do it with I don't know if you can do, no, I don't think you can. I think you can put an alert in. So rather than so look, you can see here is roughly where the average is. I think there's a way to do, actually, hold on, let me have a look at something on the spot.
Yeah, I can do the crossing down one on like indicators, but I don't know if it does it for volume. I've never tried that one.
No, you can do it. Now, we're just trying to see if there's an average volume bar. No, I don't know what these are. That's fine. I could probably find something. But what you can do, I've done it before. When I was day trading, I used to do the exhaustive volume strategy quite a lot, and it was really, really powerful. So if we do right click, add alert, I think volume. There you go. So volume, you can just say volume crossing 12,300, and then you stick that on. So create. So that should be there now. So what that will do is if volume peaks above 12.5, you'll get an alert. So then you can go and see if it's a green bar or a red bar. And what would be interesting is that can happen mid bar, right? So you could be like, oh, it's halfway through the day. We have a green bar that's already at 12,500, which is about the average. Maybe this is the breakout bar, if that makes sense. And then you could use that as a way to kind of get in a bit earlier. So that's volume is important. Without volume, we're not going to go anywhere. You can see when it starts to look at this, right? Drop in volume, drop in volume, drop in volume. There, pick up in volume. Look at that. There's your clue. There, and then the market goes up. We haven't seen that yet. Okay, we have not seen that. So that's what you're going to be kind of looking out for. And you can make your alert even higher, guys. You can do it at like 15. But if you do it like, say, 12.5, whatever it is, whatever that point is, then you could, you can get in a bit earlier. You can be alerted a bit earlier, so it gives you time to get on your screens. How's that, everybody? Any questions?
That's the Bitcoin price prediction with Andy Deming. Loving that there. Snake Trader, good to have you with us, my friend. Put the moving average on the volume. That's another way of doing it. Yanis, hi guys, how are you? We are good, thank you. Good to have you with us.